But then I'm kind of rethinking my thinking, and I do think that maybe it's time for the Democrats to do a little bit of this postmortem, because the Democratic Party has always been the party of the working class, has always been. If you look at all the policies, they're for the people. And I think even myself, as someone who grew up in abject poverty from the Bronx, my parents lived paycheck to paycheck. They had to decide whether or not they were going to feed me or whether or not we were going to have heat. And I remember that. And I think I missed the boat in terms of realizing that there are so many Americans that still have that experience that I grew up with and that members of my family grew up with. And so I think we need to make space in this tent for the people that are really going to need it, because I got to tell you, I don't think the Republican Party is the party of the working class. I think they will hurt the working class. And so it is up to those of us who remember how that feels or who cares about that to reach out and say, come back, we can help you. And I intend myself, what little I can do, to try to do that more.
Well, it is interesting because in the article.
Okay. So I think what she was trying to say was that she was not going to be so toxic towards people who chose to go the way of the Republican Party. I feel like, I don't know, it wasn't really an apology, or it was kind of a waking up moment that they were being too toxic. But still, I think that she still had some underhanded comments, still throwing out the felons and all that stuff. She just still seems to be very salty about the whole situation, and that's fine. But guess what? You got to move on and accept it.
Well, he quotes, I forgot the exact quote, but he said something about how it's become the party of college professors and, it's this removed group of highly educated. And I think the conversations around that, because the people on the other side were voting for Donald Trump, oftentimes those voters were kind of put in a bucket of not being smart and spoken down to. So I think it's a strange thing, because I don't even fully identify what the Democratic Party is anymore. It's not recognizable to me. And the right, the same can go. The fact that they're becoming an isolationist party when that we see so much going on in the world and we understand the ramifications of the chess game and all of that. But I do think what's most interesting is that Donald Trump supposedly reached the working class, but I don't grasp what parts are going to benefit them. So was being heard enough? Was it just being heard by a candidate? Because his plans don't break down to helping them.
But I do think it was trade deals.
See, I don't think that's necessarily true too, because